So, welcome everybody to part three of the interview with Andrew Baughen, who is our August Book of the Month author, A Life's Work. In the first two parts of the interview, we talked about what value is and how Andrew has structured the view of value. In this last bit, I'd like to explore the last section of the book, which is about value for life. And in particular, so knowing who you are, knowing what you're here for and where you're going. And I have a couple of specific questions. One is about engaging heart and soul. And one is about, and this is a quote actually, so I'm just going to read this out. Being valued only for what you do represents a real and present danger. I'd quite like to explore what that means, because real and present danger sounds really exciting, but yeah. I'm sure it isn't. So I wonder if you could talk through your thoughts about value for life, and in particular. So starting with who am I and why am I here? And
I think that the two are related, aren't they? So I think a bit of a trip hazard with the book is and particularly if you don't read through to that last section, is it could imply that I'm saying that to be of value, you need to produce lots of value, so that we are the sum of the value that we generate. And of course, that would be a clear and present danger, because that would be an unending search and trying to prove myself through what I do. And I think, therefore, having an underpinning of, which I'd say would be the sort of spiritual underpinnings of knowing that I'm not just a producer of value, I'm someone who's been given value to produce as a gift. So I'm, as a Christian, I'd say I'm a child of God, and that God made me and he gave me work to do as a good gift. So I talk in that last section about if you see work as your goal in life, then you're always going to be striving for the next promotion or the next award ceremony or whatever. So your value as a person will come through your salary and your job title. And when you introduce yourself and say who are you, you start with I work for PwC or whatever. So knowing who I am, well, fundamentally, I'm a child of God. I'm loved by God, and I'm not trying to prove myself, because I'm already approved of, I guess. And knowing what I'm here for, that I'm not trying to be a success, to build my reputation. I'm trying to give from what I've been given. So I'm doing it with generosity, not expecting anything back. If I feel rich as an individual, I will give from those riches rather than in our conversation now, rather than trying to get something from you, I'm the different attitude would be to say, what can I give to Ruth, and what can I give to others listening in? So my purpose is to use the gifts and opportunities I've been given effectively. No, not for my glory, but for others' glory. And then where am I going? So I guess I find it intriguing that Christian faith is based on a hope about the future, but it's very little talked about. I was brought up on sort of the great hymns of the Victorian era, and the Wesleys and all sorts of people like that. And those hymns often had a final verse about when I stand in glory, and about that hope of new creation and resurrection, and actually having that hope and knowing that's secure and absolutely already paid for, means that I'm not trying to build my luck in the future, but I'm walking towards a future that's guaranteed. So it changes. I'm not working with a fear, but with a hope that is grounded in something that's a promise I know will be fulfilled. Sorry, that sounds, I'm almost talking in code. So interrupt me if that doesn't make sense. But I guess I'm trying to encourage people to be generating value with a hope that the world is not just crashing into the sea and going to be destroyed. Yeah. Sorry, for you.
Yeah. So I consider work a gift. I love my work, but what I love about it is the making a contribution. I don't get up in the morning and go to work because I think insurance policies need to be sold. I get up and go to work because the things I do every day and the interactions I have fill me with both pleasure and a feeling that there is purpose here, and that we're making a contribution to other people's lives, so that there is that generosity and that gift. And although I have faith, I don't consider myself a spiritual person. But I really liked the language that you used at the end of, in the end of that book, describing, that whole giving. And Christmas, right? The pleasure is in giving; it's not in receiving.
Yeah.
And we know that we've all been around that block multiple times, and we know that. And it's nice to feel that you intrinsically have a value, and that you don't have to keep trying to be valuable all the time, or you're not trying to sell yourself all the time.
Yes, and that things have value in themselves. So as you say, that selling insurance, that has value, and the products that you're selling give assurance to people. It reduces their risk and their worry. They can sleep at night, and actually giving people a good night's sleep is a great gift. Insurance provides, and I think, I guess I'm trying to sort of talk in opposition to what I see so much of people identity is bound up in their performance.
Yes.
Because we're assessed everything. I don't know about you, but I get slightly nervous when I'm doing the feedback, things that we have to do all the time, don't we? Every time we have a delivery or we use a service, we're sent a survey to fill in about our customer experience. And I get nervous because I think, well, the person that I spoke to at the store or whatever is going to be assessed and rated on that. And it's just, and when you're in the store that they are being nice to you, partly because they know they're going to be rated. It's the same at hotels now, isn't it? And Airbnbs and things. And I just think that gets in the way of just doing it because we want to, rather than doing it because
there's a review at stake.
Yeah. Exactly. And doing things just not because we're getting anything back, but pure generosity is an incredible thing. So in the book I quote my boss when I was starting out in consulting, someone called Elizabeth Corley, who's now a dame. She produced a government report and is now head of the Impact Investing Institute. And she, but I mean, very, very successful in worldly terms, business leader. But for me, Elizabeth is the person who gave me her time when I was a 20-something-year-old, sort of very very much a learner driver in terms of consulting and the business world, and has stayed in touch and has invested in me. And she's got nothing out of that, but done it purely because of a generosity of heart. And that's a very beautiful gift, I guess. And actually, as you said, we know about that at Christmas time. Yeah, we know about the joy of giving. But somehow I hope the book just reminds people of that, reminds them of the real joy we can have at work that speaks to our soul. And yeah, wherever we are in terms of faith, I think we know that we are more than just atoms and molecules, and we're more than just a biological machine. We are human beings. We're soulful beings, I would say, and we respond to that. I mean, one of the best adverts, TV adverts, is the John Lewis, The Big Wait. Do you remember that? It was one of the very first John Lewis Christmas adverts, and it was all about a boy who can't wait for Christmas and is counting down the days. And you expect he's counting down because he's wanting lots of presents. Because that's sort of assumption. But then he counts down the days, and he gets up early, and he's got this present. He's made this present for his parents, and takes it down on Christmas Day, and that's the sort of big reveal. And we respond to that because we know that actually that's what we want. We want to be that childlike joy of giving. And I remember one of my children got a present, and they were so excited. I knew they were because they found something they knew that I'd really love and respond to. And I guess it's having that joy that we're, every day we can be giving value to people. So and not expecting anything back. So I know who I am. I'm giving from being loved, and my purpose is to use the opportunities to serve. So the big thing with the Queen was that her life was a life of service. And I always think it's a funny thing, really, to imply that the Queen has a life of service, but nobody else does. I'd like to think all of us have a life of service. I mean, the word ministry is just another word for service, basically. Right. So the minister of, I'm a minister of religion, but the minister of state for the environment has the ministry of responsibility for the environments of the UK. So as a government servant, so we could say civil servants, don't we? And we that idea that work is serving and is a service of others, rather than work is just to get me salary or me a promotion and whatever. I guess, yeah, maybe I'm just an old man, and but I just feel that there's a danger of everything becoming very short term. The sort of TikTok generation, and everything being now, rather than saying actually we're serving in the long term, and we're serving other people. So
that's interesting. We're certainly used to that kind of instant gratification these days, that you send an email, you get a reply, and it's pretty much instant. And
Yeah.
but you're right, the service is about the long term. It's about the future.
And we often don't know, do we, the effects
Mm,
that we've had. I mean,
no.
one of the most amazing experiences is when you meet someone that maybe you work with or you knew a while ago, and they say, well, actually, that word or that time you spent with me had a real impact. And often, we don't hear even about those impacts. But yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a lovely thought. And I'm conscious of time here. So we are coming to the close of our time together, Andrew. So I have to ask you, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you wished I had?
No, I'm really grateful for your time and for the opportunity to chat to you. And yeah, I mean, my passion is to in the book is to help people to see, the real joy and meaning that work provides to serve others. But I also I'm developed a workshop that's related to this model of value to help teams and organizations map all of the different types of value that they're generating as a team, and to see how that fits with their values and how that fits with their vision and purpose as an organization. So if people want to, I'd love to be in touch with people and to run those workshops, and to be of service. Yeah.
And how would people get in touch with you if they were keen to do that?
I guess the best way is through the website. So through soulfulenterprise.org. Yeah,
Soulfulenterprise.org.
dot
Okay,
org. Yeah, is probably the best way, and that will take you through to different options as well. Yeah.
super.
Mhm.
Okay, well, thank you very much once again for your time, Andrew. Very generously given in 3 parts, which has not been done before on the Business Bookcase. So thank you for that, and thank you for the book. It's been it's one of those books I think I will read over and over in different times in my life and in different contexts. So yes, thank you.
Well,
And
thank
we'll
you.
close it there. And hopefully, people will have enjoyed the book and have enjoyed listening to you.
Yeah. And any feedback people have, comments, let me know. Yeah. Thank you,
Will
Ruth.
do. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks.